everyone. This is Marshall Gittler, Head of Investment Research here at FXPRIMUS, bringing you my North American opening market comment for Friday, May 20th. Well, the focus in the markets now turns to Canada. The market expects a drop in Canadian retail sales in March following the drop in manufacturing and wholesale volumes during the month. That would suggest the strong start to the Canadian economy this year is starting to fade. It could be negative for the Canadian dollar. Now, Canada's CPI, the Consumer Price Index, comes out at the same time. In isolation, the CPI could have the opposite effect from the retail sales figures. The headline CPI is expected to rise sharply, while core inflation is expected to remain around the Bank of Canada's target. However, I would say that it's probably really growth, not inflation, that's determining the Bank of Canada's stance nowadays. So I think the retail sales figures are likely to be more important than the CPI in determining the Canadian dollar's course today. A little later, the U.S. announces existing home sales. So far this month, the housing data has been positive, with starts and permits for April up, and the National Association of Home Builders Housing Market Index for May remaining at a relatively high level. The market's looking for a rise in existing home sales as well, and this is probably well discounted by this time, so I think only a surprise would be likely to impact the dollar. Finally, on Sunday night GMT, Monday morning Tokyo time, we get the Japanese trade data for April. Now, this is one of the few trade figures that actually moves the FX market. The seasonally adjusted figure is expected to show a small rise in the trade surplus, which should be positive for the yen. However, this is due simply to imports falling faster than exports, as happened in March because of the fall in oil prices. In any event, I would expect the G7 finance ministers and central bankers meeting to set the direction for dollar-yen on Monday rather than these trade figures. So look out for any statements or press conferences from the G7 on Saturday. This is Marshall Gittler, Head of Investment Research at FXPRIMUS. Get more market insights on our education pages and turn your trading ideas into action with FXPRIMUS, the safest place to trade.